the crazy thing is, guys, the brain is a really crazy thing, and I've experienced this even with my lifting, is that when I go into some of these lifts uncertain if I'm gonna get it, or if I don't keep cueing my brain to say, you know what, fuck it, it's coming up, fuck it, it's coming up, easy, easy. I even say that out loud, and you'll see, I continuously say it out loud. This is easy, because I'm telling myself, I'm essentially brainwashing myself of how easy it really is, and that way it's gonna come up, right? And you can put 50 pounds on your squat or your deadlift by cueing your brain properly. It's motivational videos, reading and seeing all that crap doesn't mean anything unless you apply it. And when you apply it, that's when you see the real difference. All right, set 2. Because we're using a higher intensity, and the word intensity is often misused. The word intensity in terms of training is not being beast mode and pushing yourself in the gym like these guys think. I'm going intense. Intensity means the percentage of your 1 rep max relative to how much you can lift. If you can do 1 rep, the most weight you can do one time is 100 pounds. A higher intensity would be anywhere from 85 and up, % of that, so 85 pounds and up. Lower intensity means, you know, 60%, 40% of that, so 60 pounds or 40 pounds. But because we're working at higher intensities, we obviously do less reps because we can't do as much, and we have more rest in between to allow the nervous system, the muscular system to recover and produce force, recruit the necessary muscle fibers in the movement. So anywhere from 3 to 4 minutes in between each set when you're getting closer to those higher intensities, especially when you go up a bit higher. So what I'm doing today, we're gonna do about 9 sets of 3, so 9 triples. I had my elbows back, and when I cued myself to bring it forward, you'll see that I flew right up. So make sure that those elbows are down and under. One thing you'll notice is that I personally prefer a high bar squat placement, meaning the bar is pretty high on my traps. That transitions very well to an Olympic squat, so to a clean and jerk, to a snatch, to things like that for Olympic lifting, whereas a low bar placement transitions well to powerlifting. A lot of powerlifters prefer that, and it's lower on the back over the rear delts. High bar typically has feet a bit closer, whereas low bar placement, feet are very wide. So I use a wider stance, but the bar is placed a lot higher, and that requires a bit more mobility when you're using a high bar placement. It utilizes a lot more of your quads, so it's more quad dominant, whereas a low bar is a lot more glute dominant than a high bar placement. So 3 minutes rest in between. We're gonna do 9 sets of triples, and that's gonna conclude the strength training aspect of our squats today, and then we'll move on to accessory work such as hamstring curls, glute ham raises, even some extensions or a hack squat. So typically I'll start with the free weight, and then I'll move on to isolated movements to strengthen and place more volume on my legs, especially on weaker body parts that don't allow me to gain my proper strength. So if I can squat with my glutes and my quads, you know, they can handle 500 pounds, but my hamstrings can only handle 300 pounds, I'm not getting 500 pounds, I'm only getting 300 pounds because you're only as strong as your weakest link. Legs are a bit sore. We did front squats yesterday. Probably should have organized this a bit better to film this video, but it's all good. You know, I do a lot of volume per week now on my legs. It's helped a lot. And that leads me to the next point, which is strength is measured by total volume, okay? So if you come in, let's use basic numbers for simplicity purposes. If you're squatting 100 pounds 10 times, okay, that's 1,000 pounds. So 100 pounds for 10 reps is 1,000 pounds. You do that for 5 sets, that's 5,000 pounds of total volume. If you want to grow a body part, if you want to get a body part stronger, you must place more total volume on that body part. So if you come in and do 5,000 pounds of volume every single time, it's never going to grow. It's never going to get stronger because you must progressively overload the muscle. Impose a greater demand on that muscle so that it's forced to get stronger. And that's the way, physiologically, that's the way you get stronger. So you can't come in with no purpose, no direction. You have to know how much weight you're doing. Even as a bodybuilder, as a strength athlete, as you know, any type of athlete, power lifter, whatever it may be, you should know what you're doing every single time you do it, and keep a tally and a journal of your lifts for that purpose. You know, come in next time and do 5,500 pounds of total volume to the point where you're getting to 10,000 pounds of volume. But then at some point it's going to become too much. What do you do then? Add more frequency. Do another session, 2 squat sessions per week to increase your weekly block of total volume. Then add 3 sessions in, and that's how you're going to get stronger. Don't jump from 1 session to 5 sessions a week of squatting. Progressively overload that body part and progressively add more sessions in with the goal of total volume. Don't fuck with frequency, don't fuck with rest and things like that if it's gonna mess up total volume. Total volume is number 1, and then everything else works from there, okay? Let's go.